This is Sheila with Conscious Conversation Central, and today is Wednesday, March the 21st, 2018. And I'm just going to warn everybody right now, I have had the most awesome day. I'm with BC Rieger and Lisa Flamino Rush, and ladies, I'm going to turn it over to y'all because oh, we got to be careful. we don't want those
Right.
we don't want a copyright strike or anything.
No, I had way under the 30-second rule.
Yay. Oh, see, I didn't even know which rule.
Yeah.
So,
Just setting the tone.
Yeah, thank you. Cue the music. I appreciate it.
So I've been out all day, as you both know, and so not really around the computer or anything, but it's been a dance party almost everywhere I've gone. I've actually said in one establishment 3 times, you know that y'all are risking dance party up in here, right? Because I'm in here, you got the music going, and I swear that's the way I felt all day. So
Nice.
yes, and so then I get a couple of texts, and we've got some other information come through, and it's been a wild day for me. So how's it been for y'all? Oh boy.
Quite wonderful. I'm sorry, but it's been all good around here. I had this delicious morning to myself, and the energies that are coming in are lifting my spirits so high that I think I'm levitating. I'm most certain of that. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I know I've most definitely been experiencing some telepathy, which I think is really cool. So
I think so too.
yeah. And so, how about you, BZ?
I'm having a good day. I started with a hotel call early this morning, and things have just rock and rolled from there. And after, I'm talking about Heather, after my hotel call with Heather and putting it out as fast as possible, I may go and fix the audio, and it'll kill the one I uploaded, but I'll redo it. But
Okay.
time getting it out was more important.
Oh, thank you for that.
For things
That was
that
efficient.
are going on. Yeah. Well, because things going on, if someone listened to the video and then actually went to the post that goes with it, where all the other stuff is published, in reference to just one of the things that Heather was talking about, which is Crystal, Youthy. She had another seizure after we spoke. Heather was talking with Yusuf. And so since all of my communications are monitored and the hotel communications are monitored and all that kind of stuff, the word had already gone out that this was all going to be published on the IUV, which is also all monitored. Anyways, Crystal did have another thing. I put the email that Heather sent, and magically 6 medical staff and 3 other officers and a sergeant, so a total of 10 people.
Lovely.
Just all of a sudden decided to materialize and make sure that Crystal got some assistance.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all by magic.
Yes.
So.
It is. The magic is called creator being, energy, intent, and focus.
Yes.
So then I was playing with, actually as I was finishing the conversation and then I was playing with it as I was putting everything together and doing the 2 bumpers that I put on it. Various things that I felt moved to do. And if I'd had 20 stenographers taking, I don't know what it's called, stenographics, or, you know, when a stenographer stenographies,
When they
from the
dictate,
stenographics or whatever it is. Anyways, if they'd all done it telepathically and I had 26 of them, they wouldn't have been able to keep up with all the things that were ideas that were coming, not only
wow.
crystal, but all sorts of other things. So
Yay.
one of the thoughts that came to me, and I asked you guys if you wanted to play with this, and I'm not sure how we'll do it, so maybe we'll just kind of start in with it. The idea of, well, I have a feeling that an awful lot of people are not fully stepping into or fleshing out the story or the storyline, which they're in, of their own making and choosing on this planet at this moment, in this physical being, in this galaxy that's not only far, far away, but also close to all the others and all of the all. And we're all in this particular script because this is the final act, final moments of the final scene of the final act of all of this, which to large measure we all wrote a long time ago. So I get the sense that sometimes, maybe all the time, people don't see, feel, hear, sense, pay attention to, flow with, that all of this is all connected. So Heather in that hotel, all the other beings in that hotel. If I'm not mistaken, just a side note, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe that this crystal is only in there because they actually want to catch her boyfriend, and they're using her as leverage and incarceration as leverage for her to turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And she is now, they don't have her actually convicted of anything or anything. I'm pretty certain that's the way it is, but again, I'm not a lawyer, don't play one, and never will in this galaxy or any other.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I may do a lot of other things, but not that.
For this, we appreciate you.
Anyway, so not just Heather and Randy and the purported case there, all the other cases, the Department of Justice, the DOD, Trump, the memos, the pedophilia, all of the governments, which are actually corporations, the Vatican, all of it. They're all connected. They're all related. You've got the Rothschilds and the elite and Rockefeller and all that. And those are all just, you know, people say that they're the top, they're the elite. No. They're just maybe glorified water boys, water girls, upper middle management at the very least. The point I'm trying to make is that if people were to go back and remember, well, they'd remember a lot, and they'd be stoked and feel like dancing and so excited because we're here and it's done, and it is done and complete, and now we're just pulling the evidence of the factualization of that completeness into physicality for us all to marvel at, yippee-yay, and dance at, and then start building, creating, which we've already done, in physical, and pulling that into physical, and off we go running with the most amazing, wildest, fantastic, delicious, sublimely, orgasmically yummy things ever, because we just created them a nanosecond ago. But they're all related. And so I think just if people can remember and feel into, and when I say remember, you have access. Everyone has always, but now you have direct access. It's only a question away. It's only you giving voice to that away from showing up. It's as simple as that. Go have a shower. Ask a question, okay, if you have a little snarky attitude, no problem, about what's this about this X, Y, and Z, or that this is all related. And the answers will flow into you. You'll get them, because that's where we are in this moment. That's what's really going on. Mm-hmm. I feel sometimes people don't ask because, I don't know, maybe they're afraid of that love that will pour in and flow in and flood in. Maybe they're attached to the victim line story. I don't know. I have a knowing of a lot of things that I don't know. Anyways, I thought it would be fun to play with just a little bit. That's why I played that music at the beginning.
You know what? Something just came in for me while you were speaking that. When you actually helped me remember or comprehend those feelings that I got when I first was talking about standing on the edge of forever. I didn't really understand what that was. I don't think I could comprehend. I couldn't take it in. And I still sometimes, like right now, as I feel it again, this just came in while you were saying that. Not getting why folks don't ask. And I think I figured out for myself why I didn't ask before. That standing on the edge of forever like that can be kind of scary if you don't really just embrace the mystery of it. Because I didn't comprehend what was happening. And because of my own preconceived notions, because of my previous conditioning and programming in regards to my own tears and my own feeling these feelings. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to have these feelings. You're not supposed to. No, you can't do that. That's making me uncomfortable. Stop that, please. Only it's not quite that nice most of the time. When you're a little kid,
a lot of the words out.
Yes.
But that just came in. Okay, so if I want to say to anyone else out there that might feel these things and not comprehend, feel into what I'm saying right here, because maybe that might be it for you too. Because when you said that, I have not made it a habit. I haven't made it a habit of asking. I've been standing around waiting for someone else to show me what to do and da-da-da-da-da, when all I had to do was ask. And now I just asked myself, when you were asking that, what is it that's kept me from asking those questions? And my experience earlier in regards to that telepathy is an answer. Wow. Okay, sorry for that. I mean, not sorry, but
I know. Sorry. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's a great illustration that it's delicious. And it will show up and come forth for everybody in different ways. And it's the truth of who you are. You're not small. And you do know. And you have amazing capacities and amazing resources and amazing talents and gifts and inspiration and ideas and compassion and love. You have unbridled passion and energy. Okay, I'm going to make her blow up in a minute.
No, I have all these pictures streaming in right now.
Go with it.
Okay, so you know, in the Wizard of Oz, when all the munchkins are hiding and they start coming out because the witch is dead. That's what it feels like right this minute. It's like, oh, wait a minute. It's safe for me to know who I am and come out. Holy shit. I'm sorry, ladies.
Wow, Poppy, that's gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
That's true. I love that. That's beautiful. Ding dong.
Again. Wow.
I'm ready to sing and dance.
We've already passed the stage where she and all of them say, I'm melting. And the beauty of it is that even those who would have had the lines of I'm melting and poofing into, I think it was green, kind of green, muddy smoke. Yeah. You know, everybody benefits by this. Nobody is left out. All means all. It's 3 letters and it encompasses everything. Infinity and beyond. Into no thingness, and all things that come, have the potential to come, have ever been conceived of or could possibly be conceived of, coming from no thingness into all. In perpetuity. Ad infinitum. in case you hadn't got the concept of that.
Which is wonderful.
Let's play for a minute around the story Campfire.
Okay.
We know that this is the final stretch, and we're taking we're in the stage where everybody has gone out on the trajectory away from source to no source to bring all the information back. Some have done it so well, so deep, so far, so thoroughly, so colorfully, with such richness, texture, and amazing creativity that they don't remember which is the way back. Don't remember how to make that change. And we gave our promise at the beginning that we would help them all remember. And because everything and everyone and every being is multidimensional, that depending on the frequency bandwidth, the neighborhood in which you play, reality has different constructs to it, different textures and flavors, different ways that it works, different ways that if you are in physicality, have a brain that it works in different ways, and your senses in that physical level. And so on those different ranges, things are different for different beings where they are in the quantum, you know, in the multidimensionality. And so what they truly experience is technicolor, in vivid, living things where they don't have the programming notes, they don't have the spark notes for the movie or the book or what it is, and they don't remember that the pain is not an illusion. They don't remember that the terror, that the trauma, that the grief, that the struggle, that the joy, all of that is not as vivid and rich as it is, and there's a whole lot more beyond that, and they only have yet to choose or ask themselves. They don't remember that. And so it's visceral, it's acute, whatever that is, however you would describe that, whatever you would look at or feel or sense or give a description to.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're at this point, which we all talked about and up on the beach, and we're bringing this all to a close. And so now it's really helpful, and some have chosen specifically not to still not remember, to still not let it in, to still not ask the questions. And a lot of those people were the biggest joy seekers, daredevils, rim racers, and they want to grab the last gusto, or maybe they weren't any of those things and they've decided this was the time that they were going to be all those things, and they were going to gain as much mileage on that skateboard of soul expansion that they possibly could, and they were going to ride it all to the galactic nth degree while they were here. So it is what it is, and it's all a choice for all. But when you look around, I think it's helpful to remember that story, to think back, put yourself on the beach, just go play with it. If meditating is a dirty word, no problem. I'm right there with you. Call it something else. Go squash. Go walk a dog, hug a tree, whatever it is that works for you. And put yourself back there at that place where it began and where you talked about coming here, where you came for your missions and settled all the ops that you were going to do and all of the different things that you were going to do. Some of them as absolutely fundamental and incredibly as important as just walking through the world with an open heart as you could be and transmitting that. That's a vital, vital, vital role. But you've forgotten that as well. So think about that. And then as you notice what's going on, as you notice maybe a video, this video, or a conversation with Heather in the hotel and the things that she and I talked about today, or you notice a headline about what was the Chinese president who's now the Chinese premier in perpetuity to be emperor, or his central bank, which now makes legislation for the globe on finance, or things that you thought were so with right and wrong, good and bad, political parties, or it's limitless. Just look anywhere, spin the dial on YouTube, any place else. But see with all of yourself, hear with all of yourself, know with the totality and the depth of who you are. And when you ask a question, ask it not out there, but in here. And then be prepared for the answers. Be prepared for those dots to connect, to light up, to see them. And you can pluck one and here and put them together. And they start to make, at first, this colorful, lighted, pointillistic picture that you can then back up a little from, get a little bit more perspective, have a little bit more of an expanded viewpoint on, and see what's happening. And in all of that, you'll feel nudged to do things, and do it. Whatever it is, do it. Just go for it. And that's how we bring this all to a close. And as Heather said today, and we've talked about in all of these videos, and Heather and I have talked about before, and Heather's talked about in lots of other places before, put yourself in that feeling space. So feeling on every multi-dimensional, multi-sensory, multimedia way the completion of all of this. So no more banking, no more jails, no more struggle, no more working just to get by, no more working to pay to live on a planet that you were born on. No more of any of that. No more misdirection. No more limitlessness. No more just a few colors that you might see, or having to choose between a little and a little more, because rather than choosing from all for all. And as you play with that and you see that and you feel that, you, on one level, you are this incredible, amazing tool, computer, in an organic sense, with the most incredible bandwidth and RAM and memory and storage capability and processing ability that can turn just the slightest whiff of some kind of thought or imagination or visioning or vision, fragrance, however you would hold it, and you can pull it into more of a coalescing, and you can, with your hands or with your sight or with your being, with all of you, you can mold it, you can play with it right here in front of you, and then you can set it down and you can pull it right into physicality. This is not pie in the sky. This is not some wild fantasy. It is what's so. And the only thing that's stopping you from doing that is you. Because involved in that is stepping into the river of love. Involved in that is stepping into the all. Involved in that is reconnecting, more aptly said, allowing yourself to reconnect to that which you truly are, which is pouring into you at an alarming, overwhelming, joyful way right this moment. So it's an inside job. And if you choose not to do it, that's cool. That's absolutely cool. For all the rest who choose to do it, spark the imagination, spark the ideas, and start being and doing. It could be in tiny, infinitesimal ways that if someone was looking at you and observing, you wouldn't move at all, and you would just transmit, or you would just have a feeling, or you would just smile. And some could be a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger, whatever it is. The size and the scope matters not. It's that you're all in and engaged in.
I have to be honest with you about something here. The whole time that you were just speaking, I've got that munchkin song playing in my head in the background the whole time.
Playing, what was playing?
That munchkin song from The Wizard of Oz. It's like, it's almost as though there's a part of me that's saying, because if I'm not mistaken, so there's a part of that song is step into the, come out
wherever you are,
come out. It's time. And it was playing. That song was playing in my head the entire time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was like it was definitely a multidimensional experience, because I was right here present, and I was also dancing around in those little mushrooms coming, come on, let's go, come on, y'all.
I love that.
I do too, man.
It's time.
Well, we all know that I have had those a comprehensive.
You are and meet the young lady who fell from a star. She fell from the sky, she fell very far, and Kansas, she says, is the name of the star.
And when they go around and say, come out, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one that step into the light. I know that that is at least a lyric in that particular, because it keeps playing over and over in my head.
Oh, nice.
Okay, sorry. I can't help it. That was
No,
very cool.
okay.
I'm gonna have to go look that up for myself and play it for myself, because I had a whole little vignette going on. It's because that's kind of what it feels like to me. It's like now I've really been playing in the last couple of two days, at least 2 days, really just playing, just really very much playing. And today I started trusting what I was getting. Oh God, now all of a sudden I just got really dizzy. So it's really cool. I can't sit here and claim I remember everything, but I feel like it's coming.
Yeah, the last couple of days for me, I've been getting like almost like still shots, but little things that are like coming from all over the place and coalescing into this and forming a picture. That's kind of blown me away. It's been really fun just to sort of play with it, watch what's evolving, if you will, sort of allowing source to reveal itself to me. I don't know. It's like everything is me all of a sudden, absolutely everything. And I'm having so much fun with myself right now. It doesn't seem right.
Well, no, not by the way that the false construct is scripted, that's for certain.
I'm telling you, I'm in big trouble.
We can blow the doors right off of all of that.
I have.
Well, and see, there's because of the false construct and all of the conditioning and programming that we've all, undergone, there's also some, for me personally, as we discussed earlier, like you said, Lisa said she was in trouble. Well, I don't feel like I'm in trouble, but there could be trouble, because this is also very new and yet not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe more accurately, I am trouble.
Yeah, the brilliant, expansive sort. So what I'd like to end this envelope with, let's take not quite, maybe 30 seconds to fully tune in and step into that feeling of the end of all of this and the new beginning. And so we'll do that on camera, and then, if you can either remember the things, call them back, or write them on a paper as they flow into your mind, and just share that. And perhaps others will feel moved to play with that, because the more we open up that energetic envelope, individually, collectively, as ensembles, en masse, have coherence, we actually do pull all of that in to the finish. And remember that you're creator being, so there's no need to fix anything. All that is not of love will crumble and go away. And I mean the frequency of love, not the false construct of love. So there's no need for prisons. There's no need for all of that, because all those things just are an anathema to what it is. No one is small anymore. No one has any of those constrictions. It's all harm none. That just simply is the way it is. It's the way in every fiber of your being, in the physicality of it, in the non-physical of it, in the energetic of it. It's just as so. So let's take a couple seconds to do that, and then we'll share what we get. wants to share first?
Well, I want to make sure, first of all, because when I think of it being over, as I said, personally, my first thing is I jump straight to, well, yay, because now we could just do, I mean, I don't even, the analytical part of my mind starts trying to say, well, this has to happen and this, and I'm like, no, we don't need any of that. That's old
Great.
thought.
Great.
And I don't want to think or talk about steps. I want to be there. So
great.
Just that's because I know that there is no actual fixing of this. So just be done.
Yep.
I got that from Lisa. Be done now. Be done. It's done. And if only a quarter of what I've been dancing around on the edge of comes in right at this moment, there is no worry or need for steps or any of that. And so it's that's as far as I can go with my sharing, because I just jumped to it being done.
Well, you just gave a beautiful explanation of what it felt like, so we're all good.
And the construction.
Yeah, couple panel vans just pulled up to the house.
Jackhammers all around. We got it. So it's your turn.
Which is nice. We could all use the upgrade.
At least the integrations of this are coming quicker and quicker, mm-hmm. which is nice. So that's good. Sometimes it gets real intense real fast. Right. And then that whole thing when we talked about earlier about the breathing with it, that's real, y'all. Breathe. Breathe, please.
And laughter.
I highly recommend Lamaze right now for everyone.
And lots of laughter. You're right about that, BB. Lots of laughter. And I feel so fortunate. There's a lot of that around.
Yeah, let the pressure out. It's important.
Laughing, crying, I got it all going on up in here.
Lisa, you want to share?
Your turn.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking a lot about that. I'm kind of back at that place I've been telling Sheila the last couple of days. I feel like a bride, and I'm planning my new life. So I'm doing more than planning the 15-minute event of the wedding. And in this case, it's the after party, because that's where my mind jumped first immediately. Oh, I'm dancing at the after party. But for me on the daily, the even more important conversation with myself is the focus on the marriage, or what it is that I wish to create and experience moving forward. How I want to play with what I got going on here. Sorry, it's really exciting, by the way.
I know, and that's why you feel like you're in trouble, isn't it? That's the reason, right?
What did you say?
I said, and that's the reason you feel like you're in trouble right now. I'm on to you.
I guess it is.
I love it. Okay, we haven't seen each other all day, so now I'm getting
We've got a orgasmic expansion code talk going on here, guys.
Yeah, baby, I'm breaking all the rules. like it. It's working for me, so I'm staying with it.
Well, for me, what I experienced and felt was the staggering joy from all the beings that I saw locally, and then as I drove through and then flew around the planet in my Merkabah, of that creativity and that just raw, naked delight on their face, in their hearts, in all of their being, that there's no worry, there's no stress, there's no fear. It just all dropped off. And they had disrobed from the tattered robes that they had been wearing for a very long time, not only just here on this planet, but because this is happening, you know, in all. And the melody and the rainbows of color that was coming from all of them, and just the sublime delight as all of that flew away. Some were startled, some were shocked, some were, wait a minute, you know, give me back my clothes, because it was startling. But nonetheless, there was just this grandeur that was falling upon them, flowing out to all of, wow, I can play with this. I can create so much with this. Let's go play.
Yes, ma'am.
That what you just shared right there triggered something for me. Well, I mean, while I was out today, ostensibly just dance party everywhere, I just was sitting here. You triggered a memory of something that happened today that I didn't fully take in until this moment.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Well, I think I witnessed that today, and I didn't witness what I did not comprehend what I saw until this very moment. I think I witnessed a creator being that was stepping into their knowing of themselves and actually recognized me, and I didn't recognize myself enough to know that that's what happened until just now. Complete stranger, never saw him before.
On this planet, right here.
On this planet, that's right.
Next to the campfire, you bet.
Right. On this, well, or in this moment of now, or the moment of then when it happened, linearly speaking. All I remembered was thinking that, oh, that was cool, but not, I mean, I sort of gave it a second thought, but I didn't trust it, what I thought I was getting, or thought.
Get over that.
Or I might have thought it was something else, even because of this newfound thing I got going on. Thinking it might be one thing when it's something else altogether. I know I'm talking in circles, but
your heart recognized each other.
Yeah. I didn't get that till just this moment.
It's happening all over. It's happening. It's just allowing it to happen.
Well, I'm just going to speak it out because this could be helpful. I just got that for one thing. What happened? The actual thing that happened.
Okay.
Okay. So I was in a coffee shop, and myself, my friend, and her two daughters were the only ones in the coffee shop besides the fella who was making the coffee. Okay. And there's a drive-through window, and he was the only one in there besides us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he, after getting our coffee, he's busy, going back and forth and whatever, not really paying attention. And we weren't really talking about anything. These are folks that aren't,
Mm-hmm.
exercising their creator muscles, so to speak, that I'm aware of, at least. Okay, but they are pretty much aware of what I'm doing. Some, not maybe all, but at any rate, as we left, they had already walked out, and he said something to me about, I hope you come back. And at the time, I thought I felt or got something, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't trust it. And I kind of wrote it off to something else. And just now is when I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. See, now I discounted all of that for lots of different reasons, But I really feel like I just felt that just now. It's almost like I didn't even give it a second thought until just now. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. There's a reason that came in the way it did just now for me.
I've been having a lot of that going on.
So it sounds like you and Lisa are going back to party in the coffee shop.
Woo woo!
Might have to do that.
Yeah, because I just actually saw things where coffee shop, meeting house, people are coming, people are playing, it's a transmission station.
That'd be kind of cool.
Intriguing.
Very intriguing. Huh. Because it was the first time I'd ever been to this little place, ever. And
no coincidence.
Nope. None whatsoever. Wow. Okay, that was cool. Wow. Sorry. I just had a big sigh.
So, it's helpful, I think, here to say that it's as simple as doing what you feel nudged to do and pushing through it when it may seem you brush it off or it's excruciatingly difficult, because now's the time. If you find yourself asking, are we there yet? Where's my stuff? When are they going to let this out or do this or do that? Well, you hold the key to that. Each of us holds the key to that, and we create that. And we create the flavor, the scope, the breadth, the depth, the color, the richness, the symphony of life that we're creating now. And we get to play the big boom, 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 boom drums for the last of this coming down in a way that is cool and resounding, yet doesn't have to, be earth-shattering.
That was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm doing a lot of concentrating on just the feeling of it.
Same.
I am really, honestly, no longer attached to exactly what or how.
What it looks like.
Yeah,
How, when.
Because I want all of that imagination, those imaginational, no, excuse me, imaginal, which is a real word.
Ooh.
Yes. When a butterfly goes in the cocoon, those are imaginal cells. I think I learned that from you, BZ, if I'm not mistaken. And if not, then I've heard it from you some other way. but
Which can't happen.
yeah, which can and probably has. I've been confusing texts and telepathy recently. Did I have that conversation? Did we do it?
I don't think there's any confusion there whatsoever. It's just...
No, well, I mean, in some cases, I'm like, wait a minute, did I text it? Did I say that out loud? Or not? I
Well,
mean,
you did. You just said it to a different auditory canal.
Well, yeah, I'm flexing the imaginal cells in my body.
Yeah, well, just like that being the Imagineer on the IUV web portal, we're all Imagineers, and play, and we can set out to do something as simple as going to have coffee, and hey, let's go in there, and it was a nudge that you followed. You might even have had it strong enough to notice it was a nudge, and there you went and had that connection. So everything dovetails into the other because there is that warp and weave and the brilliant fabric that we're all part of and all creating, even if we might think some of those strands are dark and wretched and all that. It's all the weave of all of it, and we're holding ourselves back together, and we're emerging from the dark shroud of this into unimaginable expansiveness, and unlimitedness. And if as yet you can't hold it that way, that's okay, you will, but just open-ended questions, phrase them in a way that lets you peer through the filaments in the cocoon and the shroud instead of that pulls it tighter over you.
Yes, but I have to say for myself, what I also now feel, I had to first I had to admit to myself the part of the reason I wasn't asking the question.
Mm-hmm.
That hugeness that I kept describing, that I still feel like sometimes I'm dancing around the edges of. Oh, wow. I just got a picture of what a torus is. I'm going to try to find something to put a link in this video so that folks can click on a 3D graphic of representation of what it does. Because what I just got was standing on the edge of that forever thing. The fear that I think I was feeling is what's going to happen when I jump into the middle of the doors, and I'm not worried about that anymore. Wow. When you look at the 3D of what a torus is.
Yeah, you are the middle of the torus.
Yeah, I get that now.
Oh,
I just got that.
I'm sorry, I got confused.
No, I love it. People are going, wait a minute, she's jumping into something, and Lisa's like, well, you're jumping into what you are, so you're all coming in.
Acknowledging what is. This is my new thing. I am all about acknowledging what is.
Well, no, that's just it. I just am getting okay, so the linear brain had the whole thing that we have a toroidal field that, because, as you're standing there and saying, yes, I have this body and this body and this body, and they're energetic and it looks like a toroidal field. And then, I'm sorry, when I just now got the whole thing, comprehension of what that standing on the edge of forever was and what was I so afraid of, the information that came in is, the whole jumping in thing. Well, These, that's what I'm saying. For the slow and the way back.
Well, isn't there a linear phrase about living vicariously through and testing the waters with different experiences? Well, so here, these conversations are a good way for people to, in the linear framing, live vicariously through various different things and see it. And it, hopefully it will spark that imagination to dance across different bridges and try different things, because it's not happening in a vacuum. So people are feeling all of these things that we talk about in all various aspects, and there's enough similarity that they can at least come within close edges of that. And that's how it all plays together.
So things just keep coming in so fast that it's like, because I wish like I could just like give you guys the pictures that are coming in my head, because I had this cartoon now all of a sudden that was playing of me putting my toe in. Because when you said something about living vicariously, I had me putting my toe in. And then the little cartoon character in the Taurus field. Now, don't you know what a Taurus field does? It just pulled me right in. And then I had the whole, Tom and Jerry and the blender thing. I'm sorry.
But see, that's all expansion, because you're opening up to those muscles. You're just doing it in a way that's a little bit more appealing, perhaps, to Smarmy. You get the cat and the mouse, the tweet bird, and all that kind of thing,
Well, there was like a cartoon that went in my head. I couldn't help it. It was like, but it wasn't, I was giving you that thought, but it was like pulling me in to the toroidal. And you know what the toroidal, so I saw myself now going around in this toroidal, and that was the only thing I could find to compare it to. Wow. Okay, so this has been a big one for me. I knew she was finding something.
Toroidal field.
Can you see it?
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. That is, oh, wow. That's exactly.
See the round blue sphere? That's Sheila.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The round blue sphere is Sheila.
And I was feeling like I was standing on the edge of that toroidal field and on some level.
But actually you're in the center creating it.
Well, and now I get that. Before I just felt like I was standing on the edge of forever.
That's okay.
In some manner. Okay, why are we looking at your ceiling, BC? Oh, because
he's working on some more goodies for us.
Because this one is just showing you that you are one of many within many toroidal fields, and those are the different realities that you're in. This is my description. I haven't watched this video, but
sure.
My description, the way it would be is you're in many different realities, in many soul groups, in many coherent spheres of other souls, and so on and so forth, into expansion as you have higher and higher vibrations, because you're multidimensional and you have it all at the same moment, because the only moment is this moment. And so you are all of those things all the way right up to source right now.
Right.
Here comes another moving truck. Another
Keep them coming till the dog gets done.
Wow.
That's what I say. I'm in.
Yep.
What you got?
half the time, I for whatever the reason, I am very clear. And by the way, Lisa and I have been talking about this too. I'm finally letting go of the reason why I did what I did in regards to veiling myself in particular manner. I am very clear that part of that has to do with what my mission was. Well, this portion of my mission, there's more to it, I have a feeling, but this particular portion, and I am very clear that I veiled myself specifically.
We all did, absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
No, you're right. I get that. I used to feel less than, or what am I not doing right, or whatever those things are, right? But now I'm very clear that some of that has been on purpose for some of this, what we're doing here. And I'm okay with all of that, is what I'm saying. And that's why I just keep showing up. Even though I might not get something or I don't comprehend it in that
Yes.
moment, I'm aware that I will. And I just keep showing up.
Yes.
And I think that feels important to say for all of us.
You're a deep joy diver, and you're just diving as deep and deep and deep and deep and deep as you could go, from in as far and far and far and far and far away as you could go, so that you could then turn and illuminate everything as you dive back up for the expansion again. How else do you go on your ultimate mission, which is a direct mission from source to no source, and you're reporting back, you're bringing all that as that conduit of, as that fractal of source, you're bringing it back, and you said, all right, damn, I'm doing it, and it was, right? And so that's, everybody's doing that in various ways, in all the ways, and you know, some have let some of that go a long time ago. Some are still going, no, I can go deeper. I can do it. That's great. It's absolutely fantabulous.
It's all, I'm now getting that too. It's all perfect and perfectly done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well,
and it is done. It's done in the non-physical. It's done in the non-material. It's done in all that. And we're just wrapping it up here in the physicality, because remember, as we've talked about many, many, many a time, your external reality is a response to your vibrational frequency.
Yes.
It doesn't work the other way. Outside doesn't get outside until you pull it forth into that physical stuffness, until the matter from you comes out. So as people notice, give voice to what matters, then they'll shift, change, shut it all down, bloom it all up to the new beginnings. Right?
Mm.
It's all just catching up to itself. That's why so many are expanding and having all those trucks show up and doing all these different things, because we're on to the next thing from within inside, and then that's flowing into all in the physical. So watch, notice, pay attention, connect to whatever it is that's there for you to connect to. If it's you know, outside worldly type of things or things going on, and see into what all of that is, and have a conversation with yourself. And that's what this is. That's that kind of motion that I make is that toroidal field, which is all of you. And have that conversation and converse. Hey, what's up with that? I'm thinking this is that. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Because there's so much fascinating information, and you are mirrored or holographic housing of the Akash, which is all records of all. And so you have the answers. And I believe in your munchkin land there, all you had to do was ask and click your heels together, and
because you had the power all along, my dear.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's my most favorite meme I think I've ever seen. It's the ruby slippers with the striped stockings. And it said, you've had the power all along, my dear.
Yeah. Because we've all in various ways pulled back the curtain from the wizard. We've done this on this road, very emphatically for a while now, but it's all the ripples, the curtains actually pulled down. So let's finish it. And let's party and create.
Yes, please.
I'd just like to go on record again as saying I'm ready.
Yes, me too.
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so all the usual stuff and all the usual places. I love you guys. Until next time.
Much love.